Hey everyone, welcome to Insights with Benny, a space where ideas meet action, where stories inspire reflection, and perspectives challenge the status quo. Whether you're here for clarity, challenge, or quiet wisdom, this is your place. Today's episode is titled Emotional Predators, the Hidden Dangers. What happens when the loudest voices speak from the shallowest depths? What if the people we follow for hope are simply feeding on our pain? Some of the loudest voices echo the emptiest truths. As always, these are straight from the heart of Insights blog. Let's begin. The rise of influencers. When we imagine predators, our minds conjure dramatic scenes from nature documentaries. Lions stealthily stalking gazelles across sunlit savannas. Sharks slicing silently beneath the ocean surface toward unsuspecting surfers. Or even fantastical creatures like the sinister aliens from classic sci-fi films. Occasionally, we humorously picture our overly inquisitive neighbor, or the strange guy who lingers a bit too long at our doorstep. Yet remarkably, we rarely associate predatory behavior with those charismatic vloggers, energetic fitness enthusiasts, or cheerful TikTok personalities whose presence fills our screens daily. Beneath their affable smiles and trending hashtags, however, may lie a troubling phenomenon deserving our attention. Influence, a journey from profound to profane. Historically, influencers were revered individuals whose depth of thought, passion, and authenticity drove meaningful social change. Figures like Martin Luther King Jr. ignited powerful social movements. Maya Angelou touched souls deeply through her poignant writings, and artists such as Miles Davis creatively reshaped cultural norms. These individuals influence not merely through popularity, but through profound insight, sustained commitment, and genuine work. Today, however, the definition of an influencer has dramatically shifted. Accessibility has democratized this space. Anyone with a smartphone and an internet connection can achieve influencer status. While this democratization is commendable, it demands significant responsibility. True influence requires sincerity, commitment, and a profound understanding of the issues one engages with. Silent hunters in a loud world. Our digital age, driven by minimalism and a relentless quest for viral fame, has birthed a new breed of influencers, trend jackers. These individuals skillfully surf waves of trending social grievances, yet remain dangerously superficial in their engagement. Welcome to the troubling phenomenon of emotional predators, the act of exploiting genuine social grievances to catapult oneself into fleeting prominence. Emotional predators exploit the vulnerabilities, emotional pains, and genuine suffering of others to bolster their own personal visibility and popularity. Their talent lies not in authentic advocacy, but in transforming genuine struggles into superficial spectacle, drawing attention without sincerity or genuine insight. Riding the waves of exploitation. Imagine the quaint fishing community of Seabright, devastated economically and environmentally by the practices of Ocean Wave Fisheries, a multinational seafood corporation in their community. Seabright faces deteriorating health conditions, lost livelihoods, and mounting despair. Enters Jake, an ambitious young social media figure who is related to one of the company's directors and lives comfortably removed from Seabright's distress in his upscale enclave. His familial connection to the company's leadership provides him an advantage, enabling him to quickly gain the community's trust if he publicly turns against the company's interests. Sensing opportunity, Jake swiftly floods social media platforms with emotionally charged videos, compelling images, and fiery rhetoric, positioning himself as the community's brave defender against corporate greed. Overnight, Jake transforms from obscurity into a hero for the oppressed, widely celebrated online as a passionate advocate who gives voice to the voiceless. People applaud his apparent bravery for speaking out against the very company in which his relative holds a leadership position. Jake rapidly accumulates followers and widespread acclaim, yet beneath the surface lies a troubling void. Jake lacks authentic engagement with the community's intricate struggles, unversed in the intricate dynamics fueling the community's struggles, including complicit local authorities, compromised community leaders who negotiate poor deals, and the underlying socioeconomic and political complexities exacerbating the community's plight. Invited to a thoughtful debate on how best to approach reform, Jake stumbles. His words lack the grace of logic and the depth of true understanding. His views skim the surface, mere sound bites that shatter easily before seasoned experts, unintentionally weakening the very cause he passionately proclaims. Without critical analysis to ground his plea, he resorts to emotional theatrics, appealing dramatically to the crowd, yet failing to advance meaningful change. And when faced with an opposing view, crafted more compellingly, his hollow arguments risk trivializing the genuine pains and deep struggles of the community he claims to defend. Over time, in the absence of substance and in a desperate bid to appear invested in solutions, Jake may drift toward extremes, grasping at radical stances to cling to fading relevance. In his hunger to remain in the spotlight, he might align with reckless voices and fringe views, not realizing that in doing so, he further imperils the very community he once vowed to protect. The unseen perils of trendjackers. The scenario of Jake is far from unique. It echoes across countless corners of our digital landscape, where overnight sensations rise, not on truth, but on the fumes of fleeting clout. These influencers, skilled in the art of mimicry, manipulate group identity and borrowed solidarity to earn trust they've never truly earned. Their commitment is skin deep, their loyalty borrowed, and yet their followers, longing for relief, hungry for hope, cling to their words, embracing narratives that echo their own pain, not because the voices are wise, but because the silence of their suffering has gone unheard for too long. Trendjackers are perilous, not because of their fame, but because of the hollow ground on which it stands, not built on knowledge or depth, but carved from the raw wounds of others. They trade in pain, not wisdom. Lacking depth and true expertise, they become unwitting instruments in the hands of darker forces, tools of exploitation used by predators far more cunning. To stay visible, they forsake balance for the drama of extremes, feeding the algorithm with outrage and noise. Their followers, aching for healing, latch on blindly, mistaking noise for truth and passion for purpose. But in their desperation, they are steered into storms, manipulated into radical or misguided paths that deepen the very struggles they hope to escape. Rediscovering authentic advocacy. Advocacy is not born from impulse. It is shaped by ideology, sharpened through thought, and sustained by deep reflection. It is not a reaction, but a response rooted in clarity of purpose, anchored in empathy, and guided by a comprehensive understanding of the terrain. Advocates are not mere voices in the wind. They are torchbearers, thoughtful leaders who spark meaningful conversations, offer thoughtful solutions, and labor for change that is both real and lasting. They are prepared, they are present, and they are deeply invested in the cause they carry. In stark contrast, trendjackers stand on shaky ground. They speak without anchor, driven not by clarity but by convenience. They lack coherent ideology, are strangers to the complexities beneath the surface, and carry neither lived experience nor the weight of genuine knowledge. Their commitment is fleeting, their stance unstable, and in their hollowness, they become emotional predators, feeding off pain they do not understand and offering solutions they are not willing to live for. The heart of genuine influence. Aspiring social advocates must undertake the sacred work of learning, rigorously, humbly, and with open eyes, before stepping onto the public stage to speak on matters of weight and consequence. As the activist and writer Audre Lorde said, there is no such thing as a single-issue struggle, because we do not live single-issue lives. Advocacy does not come from fragments of borrowed outrage, but from a deep, holistic grasp of all the forces that shape an issue. Education is not merely the act of watching similar sound bites and echoing familiar rage. It is the deliberate task of assembling a fuller view, a triangular perspective. Consider again the story of the Seabright Community and Ocean Wave Fishing Company. To advocate well, one must understand the lived pain of the community, the operational struggles of the company, and the tangled positions of agencies and local leaders who operate between the two. That is the work, complex, uncomfortable, but necessary. Before taking a stance, immerse yourself in the ideologies that underpin your position. Let them challenge you, stretch you, refine you. If opposing views carry arguments stronger than your own, then emotion alone will not suffice. In fact, when logic is absent, emotional appeals collapse under scrutiny, and the pain of those you seek to defend becomes further trivialized, reduced to noise in a world already weary of empty rhetoric. Engage deeply, speak respectfully, offer solutions that are practical, grounded, and wise. Let your advocacy be more than performance. Let it be rooted in truth. For authentic advocacy is not forged in the fires of performance, but in the quiet labor of understanding. Let your voice rise not to manipulate, but to mend. Choose the long path of sustainable change over the fleeting triumph of viral applause. Reflections on genuine leadership. Our world needs fewer emotional predators and more thoughtful leaders who understand the gravity of influence and social change. True influencers do not merely seek fame, they pursue meaningful, empathetic engagement that leads to lasting change. Fame derived from exploiting pain fades swiftly, but authentic, impactful leadership echoes through generations. Influence, when rooted in depth and profound understanding, resonates far beyond fleeting fame, guiding future generations toward a more compassionate and informed future. Choosing our influencers wisely is crucial, as our trust shapes more than just our digital feeds. It shapes the very fabric of our society and collective future. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them on social and tag me with #EmotionalPredators. Please like, share, and help spread the message. Until next time, stay reflective.